Okay, this is a VR, real quick VR, well, much as I can because I ramble a lot. Excuse me. To Tony Coulombe's, um, was the 300, 500 response, VR response to his giveaway, to his GAW giveaway. First of all, congratulations, Tony. I see you a lot on YouTube, and it's pretty funny. It's really interesting just to watch and listen to you. So happy for you enjoying the story. Um, okay, well, where's bucket list? What was it? A place you've been that was somewhere that you felt it was great. I actually, when I was, okay, I will answer that first one. The first one that's really memorable and something that I really enjoyed doing and where I went and was on my idea list for a while since I was about 13, roughly. So that would put me back in the early 90s. Um, was going to Seattle, Washington. I know, it doesn't seem like a whole lot to anybody. But for me, in particular, Seattle, being a big fan of music, grunge music, I wasn't really a country fan, so otherwise I would have said I would have went to Nashville. I'm not a big fan of New York at all, so really, I've been to LA. LA was a lot of fun. Not really my style, though. San Francisco was great. Lived there. Played music there. But Seattle was just amazing. There's a movie called Singles, and it really kind of got me to go over there. They had a lot of different stuff in the neighborhoods and things like that. It was during the early grunge era when Mudhoney, Mother Love Bone, early Soundgarden. Actually, you can see that's one of Ben Shepherd, the bass player from Soundgarden's first performances on camera. As a very young Kim Thale, and it's funny. Chris Cornell from Soundgarden actually did most of the soundtrack, if not all of the soundtrack, except for, of course, the tunes done by obvious bands. Pearl Jam is in it with Matt Dillon, and it's just hilarious. I love the movie. The movie's great. That got me to want to go to Seattle. And when I went, I made sure to go to Jimi Hendrix's grave over in Renton, which is where I was actually staying with my uncle for a couple weeks. I went during my off season. It was cold and it was funny. I took the bus all the way from Fresno, California, up to Seattle, and actually we hung out, chilled out for a while, and I hit Seattle every day for 7 or 8 days, and I still didn't get to see all what I wanted to see. I got to see was the Goblin or something underneath the freeway. I went to that, had a beer with him. It was pretty fun. I passed out on the ferry going over to Bainbridge. I'm sorry, coming back from Bainbridge Island. We drank a whole lot there. I drink a lot. I still do. Not as much, but went to some really good restaurants. Went and saw a hockey game. Went and saw a lot of just different areas, notable areas. Sleepless in Seattle. Some of the key spots that they went to, flagship stores, the flagship Starbucks, the one the first ever went. A huge coffee fan. I took a coffee class over at Seattle's Best Coffee. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff, but that was a huge one. Oh, the Experience Museum, the Jimi Hendrix Experience Museum is absolutely wonderful place. If you ever get a chance to go, it's a little pricey to get in, but it is worth the money. If you're a music head, if you're into history, gear, trying out things, trying to play the drums, the guitar, they have things like that. At least last time I went, which was a number of years ago. Shoot, almost 20 years now. I can't believe I'm that old. And then my ultimate bucket list. Honestly, it took me a while to think about this. It was a tie. I was a firefighter for a number of years, and as the stigma goes, a lot of the times, if you're a fireman, you were usually Irish. You were some crazy bastard with a lot of Irish blood, because that was their job. I mean, honestly, back east, it was a huge, O'Brien, McFally. I mean, I worked with, with McCarroll, with all these guys with different Irish names. It was pretty interesting just to see Irish or Scottish backgrounds. Ferguson, the Ferguson clan out in Scotland, and so I always wanted to go to Ireland, just to go experience it. I've seen several documentaries, the things that they have there, the beautiful landscape. And then also when I got a little older, when I married my wife, her family plays handball with a hand, not, instead of rackets, you use a hand and use both hands. Look it up, 40-20, or they have alley ball, which is 60-40 court, huge court. I didn't know that my family was actually rooted in that pretty well as well. Actually, a lot of adopted family that I've had. And my wife's grandfather was a former world champ. He played most notable world champs such as Paul Haber. I think he played Paul Brady, not Paul Brady, David Chapman years and years ago, right when he was retired. He remembers seeing him as a kid. Anyways, that's a whole different story. But Ireland was probably one of the ones. I love old pubs. I love old homes and landscapes and rolling hills and just seeing different things. Yeah, I understand the Irish Republic Army, everything else, but as a fan of handball, rugby, and soccer, or football, the real football for me, because I don't follow Western sports at all. I used to follow baseball, yeah, once in a while. But anyways, so those type of European sports I really enjoy. To go there and to just look around, have a beer at a whole bunch of places, go to the Guinness factory, and just enjoy yourself. That's what I wanted to do, and that's where I wanted to go. Yeah, so that's my ultimate bucket list. That's one of them. The second one, and I know you probably didn't ask for two, but it's hard to do that. I like solitude. I like hunting. Well, I don't really hunt, but I like the idea of hunting. I love the outdoors, love mountains, things like that. I've been watching a lot of Alaska's Last Frontier, and that has really kind of pushed me as to our whole trip, our field trip to go to Oregon last year for vacation. That has pushed us more into moving to Oregon, was just the love of nature. So really, my other ultimate bucket list would be going. I would love to go to Alaska as well. Alaska, just somewhere deep. Of course, I'm not gonna forage all my food. I'll have it shipped in if I had that kind of crazy cash. But just the idea of being somewhere out there where there's nothing and you got to chop your own wood. I actually don't mind that. Chopping your own wood, learning how to hunt. I love fishing, love tracking. Actually, love tracking, love hiking and whatever, and just doing all the basic stuff. Maybe just for the summertime, but either way, it doesn't matter. So there it is. So it's Seattle. Seattle, Washington is where I've been, and that's where I always wanted to go since I was a kid, since I was early 90s. And then my ultimate is either Ireland or somewhere deep in Alaska. Kind of odd, isn't it? I don't want to go to Australia or nowhere like that, or Antarctica for some weird stuff. But congratulations, Tony. Hopefully you get this, and I will see you guys soon.